Okay, so today I just want to talk about healing. Okay, and I was watching Dr. V on YouTube, which I'm sure if you've been through any kind of bariatric journey, you've heard about Dr. V. He is just like he makes it so understandable, digestible. And he was talking about like the head, the thoughts that we need to get under control in our weight loss journey. But the one psych evaluation we go to is never ever going to determine or to see if there's an eating disorder. But if we got over such a certain weight, we have an eating disorder. It's definitely there. So he talks about, the need for like therapy extended, And anyway, I guess today for the first time, I feel like I fully grasped and understood the reason that healing is so important. So, I'm a Christian, and in my faith, we believe that deliverance is important, healing is important, and what is it like? Your ministry, like obviously obeying the will of God for your life is important. Deliverance is you being plucked from the things that were destroying your life. Okay? And then healing is the comforting, the nurturing of the nurturing seal, I guess, that kind of goes around us. And then the will. And so God had been leading me recently to, the scripture that talks about seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open unto you. It's ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. I think those three. Anyways, I'm not a Bible scholar, but I'm trying to grow, right? And so all that to say is that these are all like repetitions that go hand in hand with each other. You can't do the last thing. You can't walk out and fulfill the purpose that your life actually has without healing. We all want to be delivered of the worst things, like set apart from the worst things that are there to destroy us. Right? We all want to come away, if we're alcoholic, we all want to come away from the alcohol. If we're a drug addict, we want to come away from the drugs. And so as sugar addicts, we want to come away from the sugar. We want to live that life. And so we want to go from here to here. So I was addicted to sugar. I'm coming away from the sugar, and now I'm walking in my freedom. But there's just one problem. You will trip up time and time again here to here because there was no healing in between. God desired to take you from, and I'm talking to me, okay? God desired to take us from faith to faith and glory to glory. But healing was all in between here. So if you're trying to get from the substance abuser, and you're trying to bring those two separate forever, and eventually this one the substance dies in your life, and the substance abuser walks out and is no longer an abuser. You can't keep walking this path the substance abuser name's never going to go away from this one, because it's this substance abuser, it's what has to die here. It's what has to come away from what's in here. The substance didn't come and find you. You came looking for the substance. Because of the things that happened in our life, come on, somebody. Because of the things that happened in our life, we came looking. Alcohol was always alcohol. Drugs were always drugs. Carbs were always carbs. We got stressed out. We got traumatized, and we ran to the thing, and we let that be our comfort. And stay with me here. No matter where you come from, no matter what you believe in, I want you to stay with me, because I want to stretch your thinking just a little bit, your perspective. Okay. So you went running to the substance, okay? And now to think that you can peel yourself away from the substance without the thing that actually divides you, if you think the substance will not come back running for you, the only one you're fooling is yourself, right? You ain't fooling nobody but you. I'll talk about me for a little bit. I had, as a child, I liked to go places, like go to my grandmother's house, especially my grandma's house, and get in the cupboards, like get in the cabinets and rummage some food. And, I would have like 2 or 3 of my favorite things. And the thing about, I would never be stuffing my face when somebody's around. I wanted to keep the relationship hidden. I wanted to keep what was the transaction going on between me and that Snickers bar away from anybody. If somebody walked by the kitchen and they saw me, they looked through the living room and they saw me like macking down or whatever, I would immediately be embarrassed. And, quickly, like, I'd shuffle to put it away. Like that was a drug. Because it was my drug. It was a drug. It is a substance. And it's a substance I abused. Sugar, okay? And that I've been abusing. And I have to come away from that, okay? So, we don't just heal coming away from something and say, okay, I don't identify with this anymore, so now I'm healed. No. You have to heal in the separation time. And I heard Dr. Vaughn talking about, okay, he said, people don't appreciate the honeymoon phase enough. And that tells me that in the honeymoon phase is the great coming away for us in bariatric, with weight loss surgery. The first year, 2 years for you. If you're a year and a half out, I read my journals from sleeve. Guys, I was over here like condemning myself. Like I sounded horrible, like condemning myself. Didn't have half the healing I have today to me today to be able to weed through the healing that I actually need. And I'll be talking about, Lord, forgive me, and get me on track, and so that I can be proud of myself again, because I'm stretching this thing out, okay? And like, if we'll get real, that is the biggest thing in your mind is you're like, oh my gosh, they made my pouch, I'm stretching it out. Like everything you do, you're like, I'm stretching it out. And when you're doing that, like Dr. V's talking about, we're chasing restriction. We're not chasing the healing. We're not chasing the thing that gets us the end result. We're chasing restriction. Because we need what? Restriction to make us whole. We need the restriction to lose the weight for us. we don't trust like, what happened to us that we don't trust ourselves anymore? What happened to us? What's the signal? What's signaling the trauma in your life to bring you to the place to where you don't trust yourself anymore to get out your food scale, weigh that food, eat that, and that be enough? Because whatever it is that's coming to your mind right now, that is the problem. Whatever that's coming to your mind right now, that's the trauma. And that trauma needs to be weeded through. It needs to be healed. And it's not an overnight process. If it took you, like me, 30 years to get here, it's gonna take time. And I believe that, God can do a quick work in us, right? It may not take 30 more years to get, but the point is it's gonna take time. And not just time, but habitual practices to actually put that in place. If you haven't read it, I recommend reading Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's really good. But Atomic Habits of saying, okay, I'm gonna put this in place and I'm gonna give it a date and a time. Goals, setting goals, and achieving those goals. Check, check, check. And I could talk about this all day long, but if I don't put it into play for myself, the saddest thing is to be educated about something, know exactly what to do, and have the potential to be the best at it, and never do it. Never pick a foot up to do it. So me, who's watching this later, you got to do it. You have to do the work. You have to do what you know to do, because your life is worth it. You are so worth it. And the time in our lives that we've spent being told you're not good enough, you're not enough, you're not worthy of that kind of love, you're not, it's the healing us. It's the healing in us. It's making room for ourselves. It's learning to have grace with ourselves, have patience with ourselves, have love for ourselves. That changes everything. And when you begin to love yourself, relationships around you will change. When you begin to, because they're going to say you've changed, and you have changed. You really have changed. You started to respect yourself. You started to love yourself. And when you love yourself, when you respect yourself, you're going to say things like, I'm sorry, but I don't appreciate you saying that. I'm sorry, but I don't appreciate that we only go out to that we only go out to the buffets when, maybe this is a best friend, this is a close relative, and they know what I've underwent. They know what I've been through to get through my weight loss journey. I need you to come my way some. I need to, I've been to the buffet and I've weighed the food and put it in a little tray and just had, whatever, and had 6 meals out of it after sleeve. I've been there. But if you've been addicted to food, and you come home and you bring that tray full of food and you put it in the fridge for later, later is always now. So I want to talk to people that you may not be my weight, you may not be 400 pounds, but we got here through a really rough journey. We got here through a lot of trauma. And we need to be willing to love ourselves past the place of, I can do this, but I don't have to do all that quite. There's no time for that. You cannot be so prideful in your mind that you are like, this was bad, but wasn't that bad. I remember the biggest deliverance thought I ever had probably was when I was going to church. I was listening to this particular message, okay? And again, stay with me, okay? This is good, I promise. Has an all-around message to it. And the Lord spoke to me and he told me, he said, it's like like him sharing heartbreak with me, you know? He was like, I've lived so, like you've, excuse me, you've lived so much of your life thinking somebody else has got it worse. It's bad, but it's not that bad. Somebody else has got it worse. When somebody else has got it worse is the Band-Aid to the thing that caused you trauma. My 2-year-old comes to me frequently and says, Mommy, I hit my hand on this. Kiss it. Okay? When Mama kisses the hand, what do you think she says? All better. It's all better. And it's all better because the compassion and the love in her heart to kiss the hurting place in me felt better than the pain that she just went through. And for some reason we think that it's okay to walk around from trauma and times that we were hurt and think that we just don't need that anymore. When we leave our father and our mother, it's because we have a confidence that we can place in our husbands and ourselves, you know, to be responsible. And just as responsible as we want to be for our husbands and children and, you know, wives and children, vice versa. How good are you at caretaking for you? Are you taking care of you? Because if your answer is yes right now, what's your weight? Because if it's in an obesity range, the answer to that question is no. I'm great at taking care of others. Somebody used this analogy and it's life-changing. And it says, this girl came and she testified at Celebrate Recovery. And she said, I use the ladder to help everyone else out of the ditch. The only problem is I was still in the ditch when they pulled the ladder up. So she was still the last one in the ditch, in the hole. And once she got everybody else up, and the last one pulled the ladder, she was the last one standing in her situation. And that's how it is with addiction. And I know that from some of the addictions that I've faced, is that I lived a life that I had a friend and I thought, if I do it with her, like, you know, she'll see me go through this. And she'll see me get better and come out of it. And she'll have encouragement too. That's kind of playing God. It's dangerous. And I just didn't realize that perspective at all. Because we can't change people, right? We can only we can only change ourselves. We can only make ourselves that much better and grow daily. And unfortunately, if you help everybody else out around your life, there will come a day that the ladder is pulled and you're still in the hole. And you're left to God's graces, which does help us, you know, and it's helped me many times, but still, there's a point where he's going to come to you like the man in the pool of Bethesda and say, will you be made whole? Like, the water is stirring now. And just to translate that over, the time of change is now. You're getting ready to go into bariatric surgery. You're getting ready to you know, you're 6 months post-op and you're watching this, if you're in your honeymoon phase, it's not too late. It's not too late. You clicked on this for a reason. Get to work because you are worth it. You are so worth it. And this world is a better place because you're in it. Literally, this world is a better place because you're in it. You did not go through the pain and the hell and the heartache that you went through with all that weight on your bones to throw it away for nothing. You just didn't. You went through that because you're a relatable human being. You're called to be relatable. You're called to humbly relate to others. And once that weight is lifted off of you, you can help the next person. And when you didn't go into it for them, that's not the wrong angle. It's just that you happen to be overweight. But until our life is a testimony, it's not the, oh wow, she's really skinny, that's blah, blah, blah. Because that's there for a season. But if we're not truly healed, I'm evidence that you can have a gastric sleeve, and you can, in 3 years' time, all that weight will be back on plus some. And the evidence of your healing is magically gone. You know, that's just not how it works. When you're walking in your healing, that's what people see, and that's what they want, and that's the evidence that stays. That's the hard true evidence that person's healing. You know, that person's actually walking in their healing. So anyway, I just wanted to, like I said, come on and share that with you. I pray that you are blessed, and I say God bless your weight loss journey. God bless your future. God bless your healing process. If you're, really post-op or newly post-op, congratulations to you. I hope you enjoy the new feelings that you're going to get, the new newfound energy you're going to have, even the difference in your thinking, your thought process is clearer, but your mind's so clear it's like I was anyways. I had ADHD thoughts. But yeah, so I look forward to the next one, guys. Thank you so much. Again, if you found if you felt any relation in what I'm saying to you, please hit the like button. It just shares out the content to somebody else. And feel free to subscribe and become part of my family. Catch you guys on the next one.